Hello everyone, and welcome to the Stalwart Initiative. And we're back for another look at Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. And this time we're going to be taking a look at everything Ranger in the book. And, well, we're going to save the spells for the spell section, but the class features here. And there are optional class features, which help you replace certain features of the Ranger that lackluster original features in the Ranger for 5e, and we also have a restructuring of the Beastmaster Ranger, as well as 2 new subclasses. So let's dive right in. First up, at level 1 for optional class features, we have Deft Explorer. You are an unsurpassed explorer and survivor, both in the wilderness and in dealing with others on your travels. You gain the canny benefit below, and you gain an additional benefit below when you reach 6th level and 10th level in this class. So this is going to be replacing the Natural Explorer, which innately gave you advantage on wisdom and intelligence checks, and when they have to deal with your favored terrain. And then when you travel for at least an hour in your favored terrain, you get a slew of other benefits. The problem with this is it can be super useful in certain circumstances, but I rarely saw my Rangers utilize it a lot. And me myself, when I played a Beastmaster Ranger, when I first started playing 5e, I either forgot to use certain ones, or they just didn't matter because we would cut from one scene to another. The travel situation was kind of glazed over, and that's where the Ranger really shines in that aspect. So let's see what Deft Explorer can give us to replace that. So the canny feature, the one you get at first level, it lets you choose one of your skill proficiencies, any one, and you could get to double that bonus for any ability check you make using that skill. And you can also speak, read, and write 2 additional languages of your choice. I find this universally useful. Not only do you get to pick any of your skill proficiencies, with Ranger it's not like you get a ton of them, but you get a decent amount. And I definitely think that doubling the bonus for any of those could come in use a lot more than the Natural Explorer feature would. And you could 2 additional languages is great. So this is basically saying you're well traveled and well skilled and versed in what you do as you go around and explore. So I like it. I like it so far. Let's see what we get at 6th level. At 6th level, we'll get Roving, and your walking speed increases by 5 feet, and you gain a climbing and swimming speed equal to your walking speed. So this is great. Not only do you hop up to a minimum of 30 if you're at speed of 25, or usually 30 base walking speed, so 35, and not to include any other things that buff your speed. But so you will go up to not only boost your walking speed by 5, but then get that boosted speed for climbing and swimming at 6th level. That's really good. That's really useful, universally useful. So awesome, good stuff. At 6th level, at 10th level, you get Tireless. As an action, you can give yourself a number of temporary hit points equal to 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier, minimum of 1. And you can use this action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. In addition, whenever you finish a short rest, your exhaustion level, if any, is decreased by 1. This is really cool. I like this. So you have temp hit points, essentially this pool of iterations of temp hit points equal to your proficiency bonus. And temp hit points don't disappear until you finish a long rest. So as soon as you wake up, you can pop these temp hit points and expend one of those uses. And since you're getting this at 10th level, your proficiency bonus is 4? Yeah, it's 4. So you get to do this 4 times per long rest, have this temp hit points. Pretty sweet. Not to mention the exhaustion. I think exhaustion is an underutilized thing in 5e. I like to have situations and creatures that would do exhaustion levels to my character other than the usual like ghosts and stuff like certain kind of ghosties and stuff like that, but also I have a set of abilities that use exhaustion as a currency, like key points and stuff like that, but it's levels of exhaustion, and If someone gets greedy and stacks up those levels, those are tough because you only go down one level per long rest. But this is allowing all rangers to lose a level of exhaustion on a short rest, which means you can lose multiple levels per day. That's amazing. That's great. Very good, very good. Might not always come in use, even an entire campaign that might not come up at all, but when it does, that is can be very crucial. So awesome. I enjoy this Deft Explorer, and in most cases I would opt to replace Natural Explorer with that, unless we were doing a campaign that solely focuses on that kind of exploration. Very cool. Next up, we have the Favored Foe. And the Favored Foe will replace the Favored Enemy feature, and it also works with Foe Slayer, which is a later level feature. So let's take a look. When you hit a creature with an attack roll, you can call on your mystical bond with nature to mark the target as your favored enemy for 1 minute or until you lose your concentration, as if you were concentrating on a spell. The first time on each of your turns that you hit the favored enemy and deal damage to it, including when you mark it, you can increase that damage by 1d4. You can use this feature to mark a favorite enemy a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. This feature's extra damage increases when you reach certain levels, d6 at 6th level and d8 at 14th level. This is cool. This is a straight up damage boost, right? Whereas favorite enemy gave you, I think it was advantage on survival checks to track your favorite enemy, and also allowed you to get a boost to recalling information about them. So that was purely an adventuring role play or exploring type benefits, and this is a more martial mechanic benefit. So a d4, it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it does scale, and it does stink that you have to have concentration on it, but you can use it multiple times. It does scale, and it's something different. It's another option. You don't have to pick it. I think it's okay. For me personally, I think a lot of instances I would actually keep the favored enemy, though I can see why you would pick this over that. If you're looking pure DPS wise, this is totally the way to go. I think it's cool. Hooray. Next up we have additional ranger spells. Oh, we so needed this. Rangers they get limited spell capabilities being a half caster anyway. They needed more spell options, and I like this. I like this a lot. And this came in good time because my girlfriend started playing a ranger, and it was nice to offer these extra spells. And yeah, some of these are really good too. I did not see the rangers getting Revivify, but hey, they got it. The new summon spells make sense. Beast, Fey, and Elemental. Yeah, there's a lot of good spells here. Enhance ability, aid. I really like it. The additional spells, totally, I would make that available for anyone who wants to play a ranger, in my opinion. Next up, at 2nd level, we also get fighting style options. And when you choose a fighting style at 2nd level, you also can choose from these options. First up is blind fighting, which I like this new blind fighting style. You have blind sight within 10 feet, and you can see through darkness. It doesn't matter if you're blinded, and you can also see invisible creatures, provided they're not hiding behind cover as well. So something that's not hiding behind total cover, you can't hide from you if it's right up against you. This can be super useful, and very cool fighting style. Especially if you don't have dark vision and you're planning on being in very dark areas, this will be cool. Next up, there is Druidic Warrior. Wow, I didn't realize I loved this until I saw it. So you learn 2 cantrips of your choice from the Druid spell list. They count as ranger spells for you, and Wisdom is your spellcasting ability for them. Whenever you gain a level in this class, you can replace one of these cantrips with another cantrip from the Druid spell list. Granted, Druids don't have the greatest cantrips, but allowing you as a ranger to have these cantrips and to be able to switch them out when you go up in level, I think is great. I think it's great. Oh man, especially if you're a melee focused ranger and you need something ranged. You pick up Thorn Whip, and slap it on your ranger, that would totally make sense, as well as other things if you're going staff base and you got Shillelagh there. Yeah, there's a lot of druid cantrips. There's not a lot of druid cantrips, but a lot of use and versatility to that, especially since they specified that you can switch them out. Very cool. Very cool. Next up, we have the other fighting style is thrown weapon fighting. You can draw a weapon that is the thrown property and as part of the attack you make with the weapon. In addition, when you hit with a ranged attack using a thrown weapon, you get +2 bonus to the damage roll. So this is really helping out those that want to have the throw in the daggers and stuff and not really focus on archery and things like that. That's cool. It's a nice touch. Nice extra fighting style. Getting that boost in damage, which is usually pretty low damage if you're using thrown weapons. Also at 2nd level, spellcasting focus. Weird. I'm pretty sure in the other book it said druidic spellcasting focus, but hey, whatever. You can use your druidic focus as a spellcasting focus for your ranger spells. A druidic focus might be a sprig of mistletoe or holly, a wand or rod made of yew or other special wood, a staff drawn whole from a living tree, or an object incorporating feathers, fur, bones, and teeth from sacred animals. You get a druid focus. All right, nice, cool. 3rd level, there is primal awareness, which would replace the primeval awareness feature that is in the player's handbook. You can focus your awareness through the interconnections of nature. You learn additional spells. Basically, it's an additional spell list, right? But these are, they don't count against the number of spells you know, and you can use each of them once without expending a spell slot per long rest. So these are free spells that you get, and you can also cast them with spell slots, but you can use each of these once per long rest for free. So right at 3rd level, you're getting these, you're getting Speak with Animals, and Beast Sense, Speak with Plants, Locate Creature. So these aren't the most powerful spells, obviously, but they can help you, and they're free. Every long rest, you get a free use. Why not? It's free. And there are additional spells that you know that you can use at any time with spell slots. All right, I like that. Next up, we have martial versatility at 4th level, and this is a theme with most of these classes here. Is whenever you reach 4th level into class, whenever you're offered an ability score improvement, you in this case you can switch out a fighting style that you know with another fighting style available to rangers. And this represents a shift in focus in your martial practice. So this is cool. If you're totally a bow person, but you've been picking up the fighting melee, and it would make more sense for you to switch to a melee focused fighting style, then you have the opportunity to do so every 4 levels. Yay. At 10th level, you get Nature's Veil. And this will replace the hide in plain sight feature, which I've never seen anyone use. Well, maybe I've seen someone use, but not in any of my games. I can vouch for that. Maybe on Critical Role on the first campaign. Can't remember if I can't remember if Laura used it or not. Oh well. You draw on the powers of nature to hide yourself from view briefly. As a bonus action, you can magically become invisible, along with any equipment you're wearing or carrying until the start of your next turn. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. The hide in plain sight thing, you had to take a minute and gather up materials. You had to have them on hand. Gather up these materials, lather yourself all up, make yourself some natural camouflage, and you have to sit still up against a wall. And so, provided everything works out great, it's cool. As long as you don't move or do anything. This is a lot more brief because this is only going to last until, the beginning of your next turn? Until the start of your next turn, yes. So this is only going to help you through to your next turn, but it doesn't say that you break invisibility. Oh, hold on, make a liar out of me. Let me click on this invisibility thing. Okay, visibility. An invisible creature is impossible to see. Yep. Creature is heavily. Yep. Attack rolls against the. Okay, awesome. Just want to make sure it didn't put the limitations that were on the spell invisible. Okay. So yeah, it doesn't say that your invisibility is concentration. It doesn't say it breaks if you do something. Yep. It's a more powerful invisibility on a very short time, and very cool. I like it. And a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. So at 10th level, you're, again, 4 uses out of this per long rest. I like it. Hooray. So those are the optional features added just to Ranger. They got a crap ton of them because the Ranger needed some love. So speaking of Ranger love, let's move on to the subclasses. Take a look at the new subclasses. And I do like these. Like I said, Ranger is my least favorite class in 5e, but some of these, between the new options and the new subclasses, I'm definitely one of these here I'd like to try. At 3rd level, let's just take a look at what it is. Fey Wanderer, a subclass, and these subclasses you get at 3rd level as a Ranger. Fey Wanderer, a Fey mystique surrounds you. Thanks to the boon of an archfey, the shining fruit you ate from a talking tree, the magic spring you swam in, or some other auspicious event, however you acquired your Fey magic, you are now a Fey Wanderer, a Ranger who represents both the mortal and the Fey realms. As you wander the multiverse, your joyful laughter brightens the hearts of the downtrodden, and your martial prowess strikes terror in your foes. For great is the mirth of the Fey, and dreadful is their fury. And after already reading this one over, this one is really going to lean heavily into your wisdom. So just to give you a heads up, you might want to put some points in your wisdom a little more than certain other druids. Let's take a look here. At 3rd level, you get Dreadful Strikes. You can augment your weapon strikes with mind-scarring magic. Drawn from the gloomy hollows of the Feywild, when you hit a creature with a weapon, you can deal an extra 1d4 psychic damage to the target, which can take this extra damage only once per turn. The extra damage increases to 1d6 when you reach 11th level in this class. Not a whole lot of damage, but it is psychic, and it is a 1d4, or the psychic damage is on each turn. So that means you can do it on your turn as part of your attacks. You can do it as part of your opportunity attack. You can add it to that as well. And so, very cool. Very cool. And also at 3rd level, you get Fey Wanderer magic, basically giving you an additional spell list. So Rangers are getting a ton of spells, which is good because, yeah, it's Ranger would just get, a little repetitive. I like the options, even though they're half caster. It's giving you versatility, so they get an additional list here for Fey Wanderer, and the list is really good. It's really good. So at 3rd level you get Charm Person, 5th level you get or FTG in this case for some reason, you get Misty Step, Dispel Magic, Dimension Door, Mislead. Very good spell list. Wow, very good spell list. You also possess a preternatural blessing from a Fey ally or a place of Fey power. Choose your blessing from the Feywild gifts table or determine it randomly. So, and you have this nice little list of cool effects that you get from being essentially Fey touched here. And also at 3rd level, you get Otherworldly Glamour. Your Fey qualities give you a supernatural charm. As a result, whenever you make a charisma check, you gain a bonus to the check equal to your wisdom modifier. In addition, you gain proficiency in one of the following skills of your choice: deception, performance, or persuasion. Well, okay, so here's a boost to your charisma and also proficiency in a charisma skill, which you can then add with your wisdom on top of, and your charisma as well. Wow. So the face of the group could be the Ranger now. This is good, but remember, as I mentioned at the beginning of this subclass, the wisdom modifier. So they're going to lean on the wisdom here. Be prepared. And next up at 7th level, you get Beguiling Twist. The magic of the Feywild guards your mind. You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened. In addition, whenever you or a creature you can see within 120 feet of you succeeds on a saving throw against being charmed or frightened, you can use your reaction to force a different creature you can see within 120 feet of you to make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. If the save fails, the target is charmed or frightened by you, your choice, for 1 minute. The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a successful save. Holy talking. Basically, that boils down to you now have advantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened, and if you see someone, it doesn't have to be specifically an ally or a foe. If you see a creature within 120 feet of you pass a save for being charmed or frightened, you can then siphon that and make someone else take the save against it. Although it's against your spell save DC, again, you want higher wisdom, so your spell save DC is higher and you can utilize this feature better. I think this is really powerful, especially if you're bouncing this off party members. So if you coordinate with another party member on charming and frightening, then you can utilize this. So if they're trying to charm or frighten somebody and it doesn't work, you can then use that to try to charm or frighten somebody else. Very cool. Very cool. Beguiling Twist. Hydrate. So dry. Okay. Next up at 11th level, we get Fey Reinforcements. The Royal Courts of the Feywild have blessed you with the assistance of Fey beings. You know Summon Fey. It's a spell in Tasha's Cauldron. We'll check those spells out later. It doesn't count against the number of ranger spells you know, and you can cast it without material components. If I remember correctly, Summon Fey is like a 300 gold piece something you have to have on hand. Yeah, that's really good. Okay. You can also cast it once without a spell slot, and you regain the ability to do so when you finish a long rest. Whenever you start casting the spell, you can modify it so that it doesn't require concentration. If you do so, the spell's duration becomes 1 minute for that casting. So Summon Fey is a 3rd level spell. It's a 3rd level spell, 3rd level summon spell. And it's pretty cool. It's not obviously not the most powerful summon spell that they popped in this book. They have a ton of them in the back, which we'll check out here. But it is useful, and you don't have to have material components with it, and you don't have to have concentration with it. You can modify this casting almost like a sorcerer modifying with meta magic. You can modify this casting and not have to have concentration on it, which is great. Very powerful. That does lower the duration from 1 hour to 1 minute. But for real, if you're using this in combat, it's probably you're only going to need a minute anyway. But they give you the option. You don't have to do it. So a versatile Summon Fey, and you can use it for free. Yeah, very awesome feature. I like it. Very Fey-like. Very cool. And the capstone ability for this subclass is Fey Wanderer. You can slip in and out of the Feywild to move in a blink of an eye. You can cast Misty Step without expending a spell slot. You can do so a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum of 1, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. In addition, whenever you cast Misty Step, you can bring along one willing creature you can see within 5 feet of you. That creature teleports to an unoccupied space of your choice within 5 feet of your destination space. Okay, so this is it's great. It's super useful. It is Misty Step, which you already know because you get to know it for free because of the subclass at 5th level. Yeah, at 5th level you get to know this for free. So you're not learning the spell, you already know it. But this does allow you to do it a number of times. Again, here we are with the wisdom. They really pressed this to be a wisdom class because they're really going hard into the Fey. I like that. It's like in for cleric, right? At 8th level, I think it is. A more martial cleric will get divine strike, and a more spellcasty cleric will get potent spellcasting. I think that's what it's called. So they're boosting you to be better at what you're trying to do anyway. This right here is really pushing you to be more spell focused. And it's really cool. So Misty Step is fantastic. The fact that you can bring a creature with you is what really makes this worth it. Because otherwise, free Misty Steps, probably 3 to 5. At 15th level, it's probably 3 to 5 Misty Steps per long rest. That's pretty good. That's nice. But it's not anything. It's your capstone. It's not anything great. But the fact that you can bring characters with you, like Dimension Door, really, really makes this useful. So you can help move your allies around the battlefield, get them out of danger, bring them into danger. Then you're kind of there too, though. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I really like the Fey Wanderer. That's very cool. Very cool subclass. And we're really running long on this one. So let me push through here. The Swarmkeeper is our last subclass. Feeling a deep connection to the environment around them. Some rangers reach out through their magical connection to the world and bond with a swarm of nature spirits. The swarm becomes a potent force in battle. as well as helpful company for the ranger. Some swarm keepers are outcasts or hermits, keeping to themselves and their attendant swarms rather than dealing with the discomfort of others. Other swarm keepers enjoy building vibrant communities that work for the mutual benefit of all those they consider part of their swarm. And getting ready to have a player play a swarm keeper in a long campaign, probably 6-month long campaign. So I'm anxious to see how he runs with this. Should be pretty cool. And yeah, let's take a look. I do like this, by the way. Swarmkeeper, already can tell you ahead of time, love this subclass. Probably the next one I want to pick as a ranger. Let's see here. So at first off, at third level, you get Gathered Swarm. A swarm of intangible nature spirits has bonded itself to you and can assist you in battle. Until you die, the swarm remains in your space, crawling on you or flying and skittering around you within your space. You determine its appearance, or you generate its appearance by rolling on the swarm appearance table. So that gives you a nice little table of choice there. I'd really let my players go with anything that is resembling that, and just being, they're small, tiny spirits. They're not even tangible, so it's not like people can crush them on you or anything. Once on each of your turns, you can cause the swarm to assist you in one of the following ways immediately after you hit a creature with an attack. So you can already tell this is going to be a more martial class, because this is all going to, this little list here, and one of your main features is going to focus on you hitting with attacks. So the first part is the attack's target takes 1d6 piercing damage from the swarm. So that's basically saying if you just want to add additional damage, guaranteed additional damage, as long as you hit the target, you get this additional damage. The next option is the attack's target must succeed on a strength saving throw against your spell save DC, or be moved by the swarm up to 15 feet horizontally in a direction of your choice. Oh, that's worded so well. I like that. 15 feet in a direction of your choice. It doesn't have to be straight back. You're not like shoving them or blowing them backwards. You can have the swarm carry them any direction, 15 feet horizontally, mind you. Great. You can push them off a cliff. You can drag them far away from you or far away from an ally. This is wonderful and useful, and wow. Yeah, very good. And the other feature is you are moved by the swarm 5 feet horizontally in a direction of your choice. This is also very useful. So you can have the swarm pull you away or in any direction. It doesn't have to be straight backwards. Pull you away, which in most cases will take you out of the reach, without an opportunity attack, take you out of the reach of melee range for foes, unless they have reach, because then you'll still be within their range. So yeah. That's very useful. The fact that they give you those 3 things and you get to pick, especially that moving the target around 15 feet, that's pretty far. And how I play things, usually if it's 10 feet or more, if they're getting thrown horizontally, that's like falling. That's like your swarm picking them up and throwing them into the wall. They can take some damage from that, or take some damage from being tossed off a cliff or a ship. Oh, so many good things come there for combat tactics. And next up at third level, we get Swarmkeeper magic. And not only do you get a list of spells, like we have been with Ranger, you also get the Mage Hand cantrip, if you don't already know it. And when you cast it, the hand takes form of your swarming nature spirits. So this is cool. You can send your swarm out to do things, and yeah, don't have to expend spell slots to do so. Very cool. And also, you get this table. The list isn't as, I would say, as universally useful as the Fey Wanderer, but it is very cool and straight on theme. So fairy fire, you can also pretend that's your swarm. Web, you can pretend your swarm's doing the web. Gaseous form, allowing you to travel with your swarm. Arcane eye, oh man, insect plague. Yeah, totally on brand here. Very good list. What else? It's your swarm. A Swarmkeeper's swarm and spells are a reflection of the character's bond with the nature spirits. Take the opportunity to describe the swarm and your ranger's magic in play. For example, when your ranger casts, basically this is just telling you all these spells, you can theme your swarm into them somehow. So I would, very cool. Love it. Sorry, I guess I should have just read that instead of giving my take on it. It's basically the same thing, but you know. At 7th level, you get Writhing Tide. You can condense part of your swarm into a focused mass that lifts you up. As a bonus action, you gain a flying speed of 10 feet and can hover. This effect lasts for 1 minute or until you're incapacitated. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So at 7th level, you get this 3 times, right when you gain this feature, 3 times per long rest. The flying speed is slow, but you know, you got to get all your little spirits to carry you. You must be a little heavy. This could be very useful though. Even if it's not real fast, at least this can be a way to work around problems, get out of danger, and just hang out more with your swarm, you know? Spend more time with them in their element. Next up at 11th level, we have Mighty Swarm. Your gathered swarm grows mightier in the following ways. And this is all going to kind of push back to our beginning part. The damage of the gathered swarm increases to a D8 instead of a D6. And if a creature fails its saving throw against being moved by the gathered swarm, you can also cause the swarm to knock the creature prone. Wow. You're throwing them around 15 feet, and and you can also knock them prone with it. And the great part is you can also cause them to be knocked prone. You're not forcefully, you're not forced to knock them prone. That way you're not giving negative penalties to your ranged fighters if that's what you want them to do. Very cool. Very cool. And when you are moved by the gathered swarm, it gives you half cover until the start of your next turn. Not only half cover while you're moving, but half cover till the start of your next turn. That's really good. Giving negative penalties to enemies trying to attack you after you get moved. Oh, love it. So good. So good. Your capstone here is Swarming Dispersal. You can discorporate into your swarm, avoiding danger. When you take danger, you can use a reaction to give yourself resistance to that damage. And you vanish into your swarm and then teleport to an unoccupied space that you can see within 30 feet of you, where you reappear with the swarm. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. At 15th level, you are up to 5 proficiency? Yes, 5 proficiency. So you can use this 5 times. So this is not only are you giving yourself resistance to damage you're taking, which could be a lot, especially at 15th level, you're probably fighting things that can deal quite a bit of damage. The great part about this is that it doesn't care what the damage type is. There's no, it can be force damage. You can get resistance to force damage, which almost nothing in 5e does innately. So very cool. Very cool. Very useful in the fact that you can use it so many times when you get it. And yeah, like it. Loving Swarmkeeper. Probably that's got to be my favorite Ranger subclass. All right, so now let's touch on this very quickly. The Primal Companion. This will replace your Beastmaster Ranger, the Ranger's Companion feature. And I'm not going to go through all of this. You can look it over here or check it out in the book. This is basically, you're not picking an animal from nature and doing this. You have a primal spirit. You create a bond with it, and it can be a beast of the land, beast of the sea, or beast of the sky. It gives you... it has to take its actions on your turn. You know what? I might as well just go through it here. Okay, so it gives you this beast that gets bonuses based on your proficiency bonus. It takes its turn on yours, and let's go over the gritty details here so you know. So in combat, the beast acts during your turn, and it can move and use its reaction on its own. But the only action it takes is its dodge action, unless you take a bonus action on your turn to command it to take another action. That action can be one in its stat block or some other action, which is very nice touch there, because you can technically give it other actions, or somebody or something can give it other actions. You can also sacrifice one of your attacks when you take the attack action to command the beast to take the attack action. Very cool. If you are incapacitated, the beast can take any action of its choice, not just dodge. It seems a little strange that that's the caveat, but I love it that they did add that, because it allows the creature to protect you while you're down. But if the beast has died within the last hour, you can use your action to touch it and expend a spell slot of first level or higher. The beast returns to life after 1 minute with all its hit points restored. Damn, that's one heck of a healing spell. I wouldn't make my players wait till it's dead. If they want to use a slot and then wait the minute for it to heal, I would allow that to work as well. There's no sense in making them, giving it benefits for it dying that you can't give it while it's around. So just make that a minute long casting to bring it back to full health. When you finish a long rest, you can summon a different primal beast. The new beast appears in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of you, and you choose its stat block and appearance. If you already have a beast from this feature, it vanishes when the new beast appears. The beast also vanishes if you die. So if you're down, they better get you back up or the beast is going. It's not going to be able to stick around when you're actually dead. Ah, that's it. Oh, the rogue. We already did that. So, yeah, let me know what you think. This is a lot. It's a lot to unpack. And actually, my apologies. Where is the stat blocks? Okay. Well, I kind of wanted to show you the, Beast of the Sea. Okay. Well, basically the stat blocks, and they scale off of your proficiency bonus. The beasts are decently powered, and the fact that you can switch them out on long rest makes them useful, super useful. But yeah, let me know what you think. And next time we'll be moving on to Paladin. Yeah, we're going backwards. So Paladin's next video coming up. It'll be out in a few days. Subscribe to the channel. We got lots of D&D content coming your way. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Hope you had happy holidays. And yeah, remember, as always, unity is strength. So take care of each other. Stay safe. And we'll see you again real soon.